Hi guys, and welcome to the Sunderland v Shrewsbury match review. Now, that was probably the most frustrating game of the season so far, for several different reasons. So we did draw 1-1. We went unchanged from the victory against Bradford last time out. And we started this first half, and I was genuinely gobsmacked by the way we were playing. We looked almost defeated the second we kicked off. We looked lethargic. We were lacking sharpness. We were just walking around the pitch, weren't creating anything. We were kind of just walking around, passing it along the back. Every now and then, Catamol or Powell would come deep, pick up the ball, then give it back to the defenders. We weren't making our way forward at all. And I think the reason being it that the top three as well, or all of our attackers, they were just static. They were stood still, no movement, walking along their back line, doing absolutely nothing. And it almost immediately reminded me of the Sunderland of last season. It was that shit. I was absolutely gobsmacked, particularly for the first sort of half an hour of the game. We were making absolutely nothing. Every now and then, Gooch would get down the wing and try and beat his man. To be fair, that left back had Gooch in his pocket all day long from until Gooch went off later on in the game. But there was several times where Gooch would try and take him on, as he does. He'd try and knock it round him, and he'd just give up on it because he knew that the defender had the best of him. So it was just absolutely dire. And Shrewsbury was another team, a bit like Bradford. They didn't necessarily get right in our faces. They allowed us to have quite a bit of possession, and they did get us on the break a couple of times in the first half, but nothing massive up until the goal, where they had a free kick and they ended up putting it away through a set piece. It was headed in, and I thought, where the hell do we go from here? Because we've come out, the team almost looked unhappy. I don't know what it was. I don't know whether I'm thinking too much into it because I am so frustrated right now. But even at the time before we even went a goal down, the team, they looked like they had no energy at all. Maybe we were just missing the likes of Honeyman, who, he's had his stick at points this season, maybe more so towards the beginning of the season, but he has obviously grown into the season massively before he got himself a bit of a knock, and he's been excellent in when he was last sort of playing. But I think we really, really missed him because we needed that energy in midfield. We didn't have it to get from midfield to the final third. That just wasn't happening because Power is constantly looking for the long ball, or he plays a simple pass, and Katz just gives it straight back to the third back two, or anyone across the back four. It was just a very, very negative opening half an hour, and then one of the first times we did manage to break forward, we scored right at the back end of the first half. Oviedo gets a ball in, and it's Madger who nods it in to make it 1-1. And that was the worst half I've seen us play so far this season, and I'm not even exaggerating. It was so shit. I generally don't know what the hell went on in that first half. It was like no one gave a shit. There was no passion, no guts or anything, no spine in the side at all. It was really confusing to watch in comparison to previous games. I mean, we haven't played outstanding in several weeks now, but we've at least sort of tried, do you know what I mean? Whereas that first half, we were just walking around. It was such a lazy first half performance. But the second half does start, and quite quickly Oviedo had to come off with an injury. It looked like it may have been a sort of back injury, something like that, potentially, and Reece James had to come on. Again, it was almost more of the same early on in the second half, sorry. It was just crap, and then we brought on Wyke and also Watmore a little bit later on, and that changed things around. It was only the sort of last sort of 25 minutes, half an hour, where we just sort of immediately thought, oh shit, yeah, we actually need to win this game. I mean, at the time, I think Portsmouth were losing. They've actually ended up winning the game 5-2 after being 2-1 down. And Walsall were losing 2-0. And they've ended up drawing, but they have dropped points, Luton. So it was a big opportunity for us to just, close the gap a bit tighter. But we didn't take it. So for the last 25 minutes, half an hour, we were just absolutely just throwing balls into the box willy-nilly. But we weren't getting chances. We had 15 shots in that game. 15 shots in total with one on target. The amount of times we got to the byline and then the cross had hit the first man. All crosses were hitting the first man. We weren't challenging necessarily in the air. Don't get me wrong. I think Wyke looks like he will be a good asset to the club. He was causing a bit of chaos up there at times, and he gives us something different, a different outlet. But all in all, it just wasn't good enough at all. I don't know what the hell was wrong with us whatsoever. Couple of decent chances. First real chance of the game. They all come in the sort of last couple of minutes of the game. It was a bit of a scramble in the box, found its way to Baldwin. He should have really just side-footed it anywhere towards goal because it was a real scramble and it would have gone anywhere. It would have caused chaos, and he's just dragged it wildly wide of goal, which was really frustrating. We did get another opportunity, which fell to Reece James on the edge, and he's lashed it over the bar, and that was basically it. I do need to place on record Shrewsbury's absolutely ridiculous time wasting. I mean, a player there's got booked for time wasting 25 minutes into the game, which was an absolute fucking joke. But you know, I'm not going to blame it on them because, to be fair to them, their defending was nothing short of outstanding. Even though our crossing was absolutely horrendous and absolute dire, they defended for their lives for the majority of the game. They didn't offer anything in the second half. I was particularly worried. They did have a chance of their own late on whilst we were pushing plays forward, and McLaughlin did have to make the save, but they didn't offer much really apart from the goal and that last chance of the game. But we weren't getting shots on target. Everything was getting chased down and blocked, so fair play to them. But their time wasting was ridiculous from the first off, from the get-go almost. The keeper's taking the piss, taking ages, taking his goal kicks. Players just leaving the ball to collect it for a throw-in and stuff like that, or for a goal kick. Just taking the absolute piss, or kicking the ball away when it's our ball and stuff like that. And it was a joke from the off, really. It was almost embarrassing. Even at 0-0, they were doing it with 15-20 minutes in. But yeah, it was just a really, really frustrating game. And now we go to Blackpool on New Year's Day, which I'm almost worried about now, because I thought, you know, against Bradford, we weren't fantastic, but we did make plenty of opportunities. We just didn't take them, but we still managed to get away with a 1-0 win. In this one, we genuinely looked like we didn't give a shit up until half an hour left. Do you know what I mean? It was like we just expected it. It was almost an arrogant performance, like we're just expecting the 3 points to come to us, and they just didn't want to go out and get it themselves. It was a very, very lazy performance. I'm hoping Jack Ross gives them all an absolute kick up the arse, and then come Blackpool, we can just go for it. I hope White gets a start, maybe Watmore as well in the next game. Just really go all out attack in the next game. Just get all the attacking players on the pitch, really, because we couldn't score to save our lives today in that second half. But I'll leave it at that. That was basically it. I can't really give a man of the match because I don't think anyone was particularly amazing. I was actually quite ashamed of him, to be honest with you, in the opening 20-30 minutes anyway, with the way that they came out and the attitude they had. I think it was piss poor. But yeah, like I say, we did pick up a point. Frustrating we didn't get the win, particularly with Luton dropping points. So we've still got 2 games in hand over the top 2. But we need to be a lot better than that. A lot better than that. We can't keep riding our luck, and we can't just keep scraping wins with average performances, because it's not going to work. We need to improve big time. So yeah, that'll be it, guys. I know it's been negative, but it was a negative game for me. So if you have enjoyed, leave a like and all that nonsense. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.